Your life is nothing but a reflection of your thoughts. What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create. The reason most people struggle is that they have been taught to think incorrectly, to look at their circumstances and believe they are bound by them. But I tell you, you are not a victim of the world. You are the creator of it. If you would only understand this one truth, everything would change. Your mind is the workshop of creation. The conditions of your life are merely the outpicturing of the thoughts you have entertained most consistently. Look around you, everything. Your relationships, your financial state, your health is a reflection of your inner world. If you desire change, you must begin by changing the way you think. Imagination is the most powerful force within you. Do you not see the world does not move by effort alone? It moves by the unseen currents of thought and belief. If you can imagine yourself into a new state of being and sustain that vision, reality must conform. This is the law of the mind. There is no exception. But it is not enough to merely think about what you want. Feeling is the key. You must feel as though it is already done. Your emotions charge your thoughts with power, and that power shapes the unseen substance of reality. Stop worrying about how and when. Your only task is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and trust that it is already yours. Yet so many fail because they waver in belief. They look at their present conditions and allow doubt to creep in. But I tell you, persistence is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. You must persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Do not give in to fear, for fear is only faith in the wrong direction. If you persist in your new assumption, the world must conform to it. And here lies the greatest secret. Live as though it is already done. If you desire wealth, do not long for it. Feel wealthy now. If you desire love, do not chase it. Embody the presence of love within yourself. The moment you stop seeking and start being, your world will change. I will teach you how to think correctly, but only you can apply it. The choice is always yours, to remain bound by the illusions of the outer world or to awaken to your creative power. The moment you take control of your thoughts, you take control of your destiny. Choose today to think correctly. Assume the best. Believe in its reality. And persist without doubt. And soon you will see the world rearrange itself to match your new state of mind. The life you are living right now is nothing more than the reflection of your most consistent thoughts. Every experience, every success, every failure, it is all a direct result of the mental patterns you have entertained over time. Most people believe their circumstances shape their thinking, but in truth, it is their thinking that molds their circumstances. The world you see is nothing more than a projection of your inner world. Change your thoughts, and your life must change accordingly. When you dwell upon something long enough, it takes root in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious does not question, analyze, or reject. It merely accepts and expresses whatever you impress upon it. If you persist in thoughts of lack, struggle, and limitation, then those conditions will continue to dominate your life. If you consistently entertain thoughts of abundance, success, and joy, then your reality must conform to match those states of being. There is no escaping this law. It operates as surely as gravity, silently, invisibly, yet with absolute certainty. Most people live unconsciously, reacting to the world around them rather than deliberately shaping it from within. They see difficulty and immediately assume they are bound by it. They experience failure and believe they are failures. They witness disappointment and accept that disappointment is their fate. But this is thinking in reverse. The world does not impose itself upon you, you impose yourself upon the world. What you accept as true in your mind will become true in your experience. This is why it is said, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." To understand this principle is to understand the key to transformation. If you desire a new life, you must first create a new mental state. You cannot expect wealth while constantly dwelling on lack. You cannot hope for love while holding on to thoughts of loneliness. You cannot manifest success while feeding the mind with doubts, fears, and insecurities. The outer world is always a reflection of the inner world. What you feed your mind becomes the reality you live. There is no such thing as an idle thought. Every idea, every belief, every emotion carries creative power. Some people allow their minds to drift aimlessly, entertaining worries, fears, and self-doubt, never realizing that these very thoughts are shaping their future. The mind is a garden, and every thought is a seed. If you plant seeds of discouragement and failure, do not be surprised when your life bears the fruit of those very seeds. But if you cultivate thoughts of possibility, confidence, and gratitude, then abundance, joy, and success must follow. Look at your life now. Examine the areas where you feel stuck, where you feel unfulfilled. Ask yourself, what thoughts have I been entertaining about this part of my life? You will find that your current reality is merely the outpicturing of long-held mental attitudes. The good news is that the moment you change your thoughts, your reality begins to shift. It may not happen instantly, but like a seed planted in the soil, your new state of mind will inevitably produce results in due time. The secret is to persist. Most people try to change their thinking for a day or two, then revert back to old patterns when they do not see immediate results. But the subconscious mind responds to persistence, not momentary enthusiasm. You must train your mind daily, just as you would train your body if you desired physical strength. Feed it with the thoughts that align with the life you want to live. Refuse to entertain anything that contradicts your vision. You are not powerless. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are the creator of your experience. If you can accept this truth and apply it with unwavering faith, there is nothing you cannot achieve. Your thoughts shape your reality. Choose them wisely, for they are the architects of your destiny. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. It is the unseen force that molds and shapes the world around you. Everything you have ever experienced, everything you now call reality, was first conceived in the mind, whether consciously or unconsciously. The secret to changing your life is not found in effort alone, nor in external conditions, but in how you imagine yourself to be. What you consistently assume to be true in your inner world must eventually take shape in your outer world. This is the law by which all things come into being. Most people believe that change comes from the outside in. They think that if they work harder, if they struggle more, if they manipulate circumstances, they will achieve their desires. But this approach is flawed. The external world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the state of your imagination. If you attempt to change the reflection without first changing the image projected in your mind, you will always return to the same unwanted results. It is only when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you live inwardly as though your desire is already accomplished, that the world must reshape itself accordingly. Imagination is not mere fantasy or idle dreaming. It is the foundation of creation. Everything man has ever built, from the tallest skyscraper to the smallest innovation, first existed in the imagination. Before a great artist paints, he sees the masterpiece in his mind's eye. Before an inventor creates, he envisions the finished product. Before success manifests in any form, it is first conceived in thought. The same principle applies to your own life. Whatever you can imagine as real and persistently assume to be true will inevitably manifest. The key is not to wish or hope, but to assume. The difference is subtle yet profound. Wishing keeps you separate from your desire. It acknowledges that what you want is not yet yours, but assumption places you in the state of having already received. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you think, feel, and act as though your desire is already a fact. You no longer seek, you simply allow. This shift in consciousness causes unseen forces to move, aligning people, circumstances, and events to bring your assumption into reality. This is why many remain stuck in repetitive cycles, unable to break free from their circumstances. They continue to identify with their limitations. They imagine themselves as struggling, unworthy, or incapable, and so the world obliges by presenting them with more of the same. They are unaware that they are the cause of their own suffering. If they would only dare to assume a new state of being, to persistently imagine themselves as already successful, already loved, already abundant, their reality would shift to reflect that new assumption. You do not need to know how your desire will come to pass. That is not your concern. Your only task is to dwell in the feeling of its fulfillment. When you close your eyes and imagine yourself living the life you desire, do not merely see it, feel it. How would you walk if you were already the person you wish to be? How would you speak? What emotions would you carry? Embody these feelings now, and you will set in motion the unseen forces that must bring it to pass. Doubt is the greatest enemy of creation. The moment you question whether your desire is possible, you weaken your assumption. The world may present you with appearances that contradict your inner vision, but you must remain steadfast. Ignore what your senses tell you. What exists today is only the residue of past assumptions. If you persist in your new state of mind, reality has no choice but to conform. Your imagination is your most sacred gift. It is the doorway to all that you could ever desire. Use it wisely, assume the best, believe in its reality, and persist in that assumption until it hardens into fact. The world will not resist you. It will only reflect back to you what you have dared to assume as true. What you see before you is not reality. It is merely a reflection of your most deeply held beliefs. The world is not fixed, though it may appear to be. It is not rigid, though it may seem unchangeable. Your circumstances are not set in stone. They are shaped, molded, and directed by your convictions. The great error most people make is believing that what they see determines what they believe, when in truth, what they believe determines what they see. If you accept the outer world as absolute, you will forever be at its mercy. You will look at your current conditions and assume that they define you. You will see lack and believe you are lacking. You will experience rejection and assume you are unworthy. You will face failure and conclude that success is beyond your reach. But this is an illusion. Appearances are only the shadow of past beliefs, lingering echoes of assumptions once held. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your belief, for it is belief that overrides circumstances, not the other way around. Consider the person who rises from poverty to abundance. It is not by accident or chance. At some point, they adopted a new belief about themselves, one that was in direct contradiction to their external reality. They may have been surrounded by limitation, yet inwardly they saw themselves as wealthy. They may have had no opportunity, yet they assumed the feeling of success. Over time, their unwavering belief reshaped the world around them. The circumstances had no choice but to conform. This same principle operates in every aspect of life. The sickly man who believes in his health will recover, while the healthy man who believes in his illness will decline. The one who is ignored and forgotten can assume an air of significance and suddenly become the center of attention. The person who is overlooked in love, believing themselves unworthy, will remain unnoticed until they dare to see themselves as cherished, as desired, as chosen. And when they do, the world must reflect that assumption back to them. Most people attempt to change their lives by force, by working harder, struggling more, or attempting to manipulate external events. But this is unnecessary. The world is not something to be fought against. It is something to be commanded through belief. When you know with certainty that your desire is already yours, the outer world bends to accommodate your conviction. It is belief that moves mountains, not effort alone. Doubt is the only thing that stands in your way. The moment you question whether your belief is true, you weaken its power. This is why many remain stuck. They allow their senses to dictate what they believe, rather than using belief to dictate what they experience. They look at the world and say, I will believe it when I see it, not realizing that they will only see it when they believe it. If you can accept that your beliefs override your circumstances, you hold the key to transformation. Begin now to assume the state of being you wish to experience. Carry yourself as the person you desire to be, not in arrogance but in certainty. Feel within yourself the truth of your assumption, knowing that the world must align itself accordingly. Ignore what your senses tell you if they contradict your vision. What you see now is only a reflection of past beliefs. Change your belief, and the reflection must follow. Nothing in this world has power over you unless you give it power. No situation, no hardship, no condition is greater than your own conviction. The moment you decide, with unwavering faith, that your reality must shift, it will. The world is not fixed, it is fluid, malleable, and entirely obedient to the beliefs you hold most deeply. Do not be deceived by appearances. Believe in the unseen, persist in that belief, and watch as the world transforms before your very eyes. Thought alone is not enough. To bring forth the life you desire, you must feel your way into it. Feeling is the secret, the hidden force behind every manifestation. It is not enough to simply think about your desires, to visualize them as though they were distant possibilities. You must embody the emotional state of already having received them. Your feelings are the fuel that propels your desires into reality. Without feeling, thought is powerless. Like a seed without water, it remains dormant and unfulfilled. Everything you now experience is a reflection of the emotional states you have consistently occupied. Your dominant feelings shape the conditions of your life. If you persist in feelings of lack, struggle, or unworthiness, the world will only reflect those states back to you. If instead you dwell in the feeling of fulfillment, peace, and success, your reality must rearrange itself accordingly. The law is simple. What you feel, you attract. Most people misunderstand this truth. They believe that if they simply think positively, their circumstances will change. But mere thought without the corresponding feeling is weak. A person may affirm, I am wealthy, yet if deep down they feel worried about money, it is their worry, not their words, that will manifest. They may say, I am loved, yet if they feel lonely, it is loneliness that will continue to shape their world. The feeling is what gives thought its creative power. To manifest what you desire, you must practice the art of assumption. This means assuming the emotional state of already having your desire even before it appears in the physical world. How would you feel if your dream were already fulfilled? What emotions would you carry? Would you feel relief, joy, gratitude? Whatever the feeling, embody it now. Let it saturate your being. This is the secret to manifestation. You do not wait for conditions to change before you feel different. You feel different first, and the conditions must follow. This is why worry and fear are so destructive. When you worry, you are unknowingly manifesting the very things you fear. You are placing yourself in the emotional state of lack, doubt, and struggle. Therefore, the world responds by giving you more of the same. The key is to shift your inner state before the outer world gives you proof. This requires faith. It requires the ability to trust in the unseen, to rest in the knowing that what you have felt internally will soon take form externally. You do not need to force your manifestations into existence. You need only dwell in the right feeling. The world is like a mirror. It reflects your internal state with perfect accuracy. When you hold on to the feeling of already having what you desire, the outer world must eventually conform to match it. This is not wishful thinking. It is an immutable law. Many wonder how long it takes for a manifestation to appear. The answer is simple. It arrives as quickly as you are able to sustain the feeling of its fulfillment. If you can hold on to the feeling with unwavering faith, without allowing doubt or fear to interfere, your desire will materialize with speed. The stronger and more consistent the feeling, the faster the manifestation. If you wish to test this, try it with something small. Before you sleep tonight, imagine an event or circumstance you desire and feel the joy of it as though it has already happened. Let yourself drift into sleep in that state. You may be surprised to find that the next day or shortly thereafter, the world reflects that exact experience back to you. This is the power of feeling. Your emotions are not random, they are creative forces shaping your destiny. When you learn to control your inner state, you gain mastery over your reality. Feel as though you are already the person you desire to be, and soon you will see the proof all around you. Feeling is the key, the secret doorway through which all manifestations must pass. Feel it real, and it must become real. That is, every great transformation begins with an assumption, but only those who persist in their assumption see it harden into fact. The greatest enemy of creation is doubt, the silent destroyer that weakens the foundation of your desires before they have a chance to take form. Most people fail to manifest their desires, not because they lack the ability, but because they abandon their assumption too soon. They allow their senses to dictate what they believe, rather than holding firm to their inner conviction. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your state of mind. But change does not happen in an instant. It must be sustained. It is not enough to assume your desire is fulfilled once or twice. You must persist in that assumption until it becomes the only truth you know. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up each day to see if it has taken root. You water it, nurture it, and trust that beneath the surface, unseen forces are at work. So too must you treat your desires. Once you have assumed the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your only task is to persist in that feeling, unwavering, until it hardens into fact. Doubt will tempt you. The world will present you with appearances that contradict your assumption. Your senses will tell you that nothing has changed. But these are mere shadows of your past beliefs, lingering echoes of an old state of mind. If you allow them to shake your conviction, you will return to your previous state, and your desire will wither before it has a chance to bloom. But if you persist, if you hold firm to your new state of being, regardless of what your senses report, the world must eventually conform. This is the difference between those who succeed in transforming their lives and those who remain bound by circumstance. The one who succeeds is not the one who never faces doubt, but the one who refuses to be moved by it. They live in their assumption as though it were already fact, and because they persist, it becomes fact. Consider the artist who envisions a masterpiece long before a single stroke is placed upon the canvas. At first, there is nothing, only a blank space. But the image in their mind is clear, and they persist stroke by stroke until the masterpiece is revealed. So too must you persist in the creation of your reality. The outer world may seem empty at first, void of the evidence you seek, but if you hold to your vision, if you persist in the feeling of its fulfillment, the unseen must become seen, the formless must take form. Time is irrelevant to this process. There is no set duration for how long it takes for an assumption to harden into fact. The only measure of time is the depth of your conviction. The stronger your belief, the faster the manifestation. The moment you no longer question the reality of your assumption, the world will mirror it back to you. Many abandon their desires because they mistake delay for denial. They assume that if their wish does not appear immediately, it will never come. But delay is not a sign of failure, it is a test of faith. The universe is not withholding your desire from you, it is waiting for you to fully embody the state of having it. Only when you are unwavering in your assumption does the world have no choice but to conform. Persist until it hardens into fact. Let no doubt shake you, no external condition deter you. Live as though your desire is already yours, and soon it will be. Reality is fluid, shaped by the persistence of your assumption. The moment you refuse to accept anything less than your vision, the world must bend to reflect it. Do not waver. Do not retreat. Persist and watch as your assumption solidifies into reality. The secret to transforming your life lies in your ability to live from the end, not towards it. Most people place their desires in the future, constantly striving, hoping, and waiting for them to appear. But as long as you see your desire as something separate from you, something to be attained rather than something you already possess, you keep it at a distance. The key to manifestation is to assume the identity of the person who already has what you seek. You must live, act, and think as though it is already done. When you live from the end, you are no longer trying to become something, you are being it. There is a world of difference between wanting and having. The one who wants is always in a state of lack, reinforcing the belief that they do not yet possess what they desire. But the one who has already received does not strive, does not chase, does not question. They simply are. Their actions, thoughts, and feelings flow naturally from a state of fulfillment rather than a state of longing. Ask yourself, if your desire were already fulfilled, how would you think? How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? The person who has already achieved their dream does not dwell in doubt, does not seek external validation, does not worry about when or how things will unfold. They know. They rest in the certainty of their state. This is the shift you must make. Not tomorrow, not someday, but many misunderstand this principle and believe that living from the end means merely pretending or forcing themselves to believe something that is not yet real. But this is not about pretense. It is about a deep inner conviction. It is about fully accepting with every fiber of your being that what you desire is already yours. Your external world may not yet reflect it, but your inner world must. The moment you fully assume this state, the outer world has no choice but to conform. This is the law. Your external reality is always a reflection of your inner state. If you continue to wait for circumstances to change before you feel different, you will wait forever. You must feel different first. Only then will circumstances shift. The world mirrors your consciousness, not the other way around. Most people try to manifest from a place of lack. They say affirmations, visualize their desires, and take action, but deep down they still see themselves as the person who does not have what they want. This is why so many fail. You cannot desire something into existence while still identifying as the person who lacks it. You must shift your identity first. Take on the state of your fulfilled desire. If you seek love, embody the energy of someone who is already deeply loved. If you seek wealth, think, feel, and act as though financial abundance is already a part of your life. Do not wait for proof. Be the proof. Move through the world with the confidence of one who already possesses their desire. When you do this, you send a powerful signal to the universe. This is my reality, and reality must respond in kind. This is not wishful thinking. It is a fundamental law of creation. When you truly assume a new state of being, your thoughts, actions, and feelings naturally align with that state. You no longer have to try. You simply are. And as you persist in this state, the world will rearrange itself to reflect your assumption. Do not seek to become, be. Do not strive, embody. Live from the end, not towards it. When you fully accept that your desire is already yours, you will witness the miraculous unfoldment of your reality. The world is waiting for you to assume your true identity. Step into it now. Everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. Your thoughts shape your reality. Your imagination is the key to creation, and your beliefs override circumstances. It is not enough to wish for change. You must feel it, persist in it, and live from the end as though your desire is already fulfilled. Doubt is the only thing that can delay your manifestation. The world does not create for you, it responds to you. You are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are the creator of them. The moment you accept this truth and align your inner world with the reality you wish to experience, everything must shift to match it. Live, act, and think as the person you desire to be, and soon the outer world will mirror your conviction. The power has always been within you. Now it is time to use it. Persist until your assumption hardens into fact, and watch as your life transforms before your eyes. Be still. You are not meant to find this by accident. You are here because something greater is calling you. A force beyond this world is trying to reach you, but you have been too distracted to hear it. The endless scrolling, the noise of the world, it has kept you from receiving what is already yours. But now, for just a moment, silence the world. Listen not with your ears, but with your soul. There is a message waiting for you, and it is this: you are more powerful than you know. The thoughts that have been pressing on your heart, the vision you cannot shake, it is not a mere fantasy. It is the voice of the divine showing you what is already yours. God does not tease. If you have seen it within, it is because it already exists for you. You hesitate. You look outside for confirmation. You wonder if it is possible, if it is meant for you. But God does not ask you to wait for proof. He asks you to believe. You have been conditioned to think that life happens to you, that you must chase, beg, and struggle. But the truth is this: you are the creator of your reality. Your thoughts, your assumptions, your inner world, they are molding your destiny right now. If you wish to see change, change within. If you wish to receive, assume you have it already. If you wish to be free, let go of fear and doubt. God is not far away. He is within you. He speaks through your desires, through your imagination. What you see in your mind's eye is not fiction. It is the future waiting for your faith. So stop seeking outside yourself. Stop waiting for permission. The door is already open, but you must walk through it. Right now, declare this: it is done, feel it, know it, and go forward as if it were already so. This is the secret, this is the message, and now that you have received it, your life will never be the same. What you perceive as the external world is merely a reflection, a mirage, shaped by your inner consciousness. Every experience, every encounter, and every circumstance in your life is not happening to you, but through you. The world you see, feel, and interact with is not solid, fixed, or independent of your mind. It is a projection of what you hold to be true within yourself. You have been conditioned to believe that reality is something outside of you, something that exists apart from your thoughts and emotions. You look around and assume that what you see is factual, concrete, and immovable. Yet the truth is far deeper than what your physical senses tell you. What you call reality is nothing more than an outward expression of your inner state, your assumptions, your beliefs, your most persistent thoughts. These are the unseen forces that shape everything you encounter. Two people can walk into the same room, experience the same event, yet walk away with entirely different realities. One may see opportunity while the other sees limitation. One may feel abundance while the other feels lack. How is this possible? The external world remains the same, yet their experiences differ because each individual is bringing their own internal world to the situation. The world does not impose itself upon you. You impose your perception upon the world. If you truly grasp this, you will begin to understand that changing your life does not require changing the external world. It requires changing within. Most people spend their lives attempting to manipulate the outside, chasing, forcing, struggling, without realizing that they are simply battling their own reflections. They think that if they can just earn more money, move to a new place, or meet the right person, everything will change. But the truth is, nothing outside can change until the inner shift occurs first. When you begin to see that the world is a mirror, you will stop blaming circumstances and start taking responsibility for your own creation. If you see chaos around you, ask yourself what chaos exists within. If you see limitations, ask yourself what limiting beliefs you have accepted as true. If you experience rejection, ask yourself where you have rejected yourself. Nothing appears in your world without first being accepted in your consciousness. This is not about denying the existence of difficulties, but rather understanding that your response to them shapes how they unfold. When you believe you are powerless, the world will reflect powerlessness back at you. When you believe in your own worth, the world will mirror that belief and present opportunities that align with it. Reality is not rigid, it is fluid, bending and shifting to match the frequency of your dominant thoughts and emotions. The great secret to life is that you are not at the mercy of the external world. You are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator. Every event in your life, whether seemingly good or bad, is an echo of your inner world. If you wish to see change, do not fight against what appears. Go within. Align your thoughts with what you desire. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Live in the certainty that what you seek is already yours, and the world will adjust itself to match that reality. This is why those who understand this truth seem to walk through life with ease. They do not chase, they attract. They do not react to the world, they shape it. They do not wait for proof, they create it. The moment you stop seeing the world as something separate from you, the moment you recognize that it is merely a reflection, you will unlock a power within you that has always been there. Nothing outside of you has the power to define you. Nothing external can dictate your fate unless you allow it. The only reality that matters is the one you create within your own mind. And the moment you take control of that inner world, the outer world will have no choice but to follow. The desires that stir within you are not accidental. They are not mere fantasies or fleeting wishes. They are messages from the divine, guiding you toward your highest purpose. Every longing that persists in your heart, every vision that fills your mind is not something you conjured up on your own. It was placed within you by a higher power. It is a whisper, a quiet but persistent call, reminding you of what is meant to be yours. Many dismiss their desires as wishful thinking. They convince themselves that their dreams are too big, too unrealistic, or beyond their reach. They allow doubt to overshadow the voice of God speaking within them. But if a desire has taken root in your heart, it is because it was meant for you. You would not feel drawn towards something unless it was already aligned with your destiny. God does not tease. The visions you hold, the aspirations that refuse to fade, are not illusions. They are instructions. They are a roadmap to your purpose, guiding you toward the life you were always meant to live. To ignore them is to ignore divine direction. To push them aside is to silence the voice of the Creator within you. Look back on your life. Have you ever felt a deep inner pull toward something, only to later realize that it was preparing you for something greater? Perhaps you have experienced moments when everything aligned in ways that seemed too perfect to be coincidence. This is not random. This is the unfolding of a plan that was set in motion long before you even became aware of it. The same power that created you is the power that calls you forward through your desires. But to receive what is meant for you, you must trust. Too often, people believe they must struggle, force, or prove their worthiness before they can have what they desire. They believe that their dreams are only for those who are more fortunate, more capable, or more deserving. Yet God does not place desires in some and withhold them from others. The only difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who do not is belief. The moment you recognize that your desires are divine, you will no longer question whether they are possible. You will know they are already yours. You will not look outside yourself for confirmation because you will understand that the desire itself is proof. Many spend their lives seeking signs, waiting for permission, or hesitating until circumstances seem perfect. But God does not wait for external conditions to align before He speaks. He speaks first through the desire, then waits for you to trust. The moment you say yes to your vision before any evidence appears. The universe begins to shift. What seemed impossible begins to take form. The key is to stop doubting. Stop questioning whether you are capable. Stop looking at the world's limitations and start looking within. Everything you need to bring your desires to life is already within you. The resources, the connections, the opportunities, they will appear when you step forward in faith. God is not outside of you, He is within, and He speaks not with words, but with the quiet urgings of your soul. If you desire to create, to build, to love, to expand, it is because you were designed to do so. Do not wait for validation. Do not let fear silence what was meant to be expressed. Step into the knowing that what you seek is already seeking you. Your desires are sacred. They are not random. They are a part of your purpose. Trust them, follow them, and know that in doing so you are walking the path that was meant for you all along. Your attention is the most powerful force you possess. It is the creative energy that shapes your reality, the invisible thread that weaves together the circumstances of your life. Whatever you consistently focus on, whether good or bad, grows, expands, and solidifies into your experience. The truth is simple. What you give your attention to, you give life to. Most people scatter their attention, allowing it to be pulled in countless directions. They move through life distracted, consumed by worries, external noise, and meaningless stimulation. They wonder why their desires remain unfulfilled, why their circumstances never change, yet they fail to see that their power is being drained by distractions. Every moment spent absorbed in things that do not serve you is a moment stolen from your creation. Distraction is the enemy of creation. It keeps you locked in a cycle of reacting instead of consciously shaping your world. The modern world thrives on distraction, filling every spare moment with noise, entertainment, and fleeting pleasures. But this constant stimulation weakens your ability to direct your energy toward what truly matters. It keeps you passive, waiting for life to happen instead of taking control and shaping it according to your will. The key to transformation is learning to focus. Whatever you desire, wealth, love, success, peace, requires your sustained attention, not occasional interest, not brief moments of wanting, but unwavering focus. When you decide on a vision and fix your mind upon it, reality begins to rearrange itself to match your inner state. The problem is that most people do not hold their focus long enough. They allow doubt to creep in, they waver between desires, or they let external circumstances dictate their beliefs. If you focus on lack, you will see more lack. If you focus on fear, you will experience more things to be afraid of. If you focus on what is missing, your reality will reflect that absence back to you. But the moment you shift your attention truly and consistently, everything begins to change. Your circumstances are not set in stone. They are malleable, responding to the dominant direction of your thoughts. To take control of your life, you must first take control of your focus. This means becoming intentional about where your energy flows. It means withdrawing from distractions that do not serve you. It means refusing to dwell on problems and instead placing your attention on solutions. It means learning to discipline your mind so that it is not tossed around by the chaos of the external world. Most people believe they must work harder, push more, or struggle endlessly to create change. But effort without focus is wasted energy. It is not about how much action you take, but how concentrated your mind is on your desired outcome. One moment of pure, unwavering focus is more powerful than a lifetime of scattered effort. The greatest mistake people make is believing they must wait for conditions to change before they focus on what they want. They think, once I have more money, then I will feel abundant, or once I find love, then I will feel complete. But the truth is the opposite. Your focus must shift first. You must feel abundant before wealth arrives. You must feel love within before love appears in your life. Your focus is the cause, and the world is the effect. You must guard your attention like a treasure. Be mindful of what you consume, who you listen to, and what thoughts you entertain. Every thought you repeat is shaping your reality, whether you are aware of it or not. Do not waste your power on things that do not align with your vision. Choose where your attention goes, and you will choose the life you create. The moment you take control of your focus, you take control of your destiny. Nothing outside of you has the power to determine your fate. Only where you place your attention does. Decide what you want. Hold your focus on it with unwavering certainty, and the world will bend to match your inner reality. Imagination is the divine voice within you, the bridge between the invisible and the visible, the unseen and the seen. It is not mere fantasy or idle daydreaming. It is the creative power through which all things are made manifest. Every great invention, every work of art, every transformation in human history first existed in the mind before it became a reality. The world you see around you is nothing more than a reflection of the collective imagination of those who came before. God speaks to you through your imagination. When you close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire, feeling the emotions of that experience and dwelling in that state, you are not simply entertaining a passing thought, you are engaging in creation itself. What you consistently imagine, what you hold in your mind with clarity and conviction, must find its way into your external world. This is not speculation, this is a universal law. Most people underestimate the power of their imagination because they do not see immediate results. They think of a dream one moment, then allow doubt and fear to flood their mind the next. They do not hold their vision long enough for it to take root. They do not trust that what they see within will eventually take form without. Instead, they are swayed by the physical world, believing only what their senses confirm. But the unseen shapes the seen. The formless precedes the formed. What exists in your life now is simply a reflection of past imaginal acts, whether consciously or unconsciously created. Look around you. Everything you see was first imagined. The buildings you walk past, the technology you use, the relationships you experience, all originated as a thought, a mental picture, an unseen vision. Those who understood this truth mastered their ability to create. They knew that if they could hold a vision in their minds with certainty, the physical world would bend to match it. Your imagination is not limited to wishful thinking. It is the direct channel through which God communicates what is possible for you. That dream you have, the one that keeps returning to you, the one that excites and stirs something deep within, is not random. It is a message. It is a calling. It is divine confirmation that this is meant for you. But it requires your belief, your unwavering faith in the unseen, for it to take form. Doubt is the greatest enemy of imagination. The moment you question whether your vision is possible, you interrupt the creative process. You plant seeds of uncertainty in the fertile soil of your mind, and those seeds too will grow. This is why so many live unfulfilled lives, because they spend more time imagining failure, obstacles, and limitations than they do picturing their desired reality. To use imagination as the voice of God, you must discipline your mind. You must become intentional about what you allow yourself to see within. Instead of replaying old stories of lack and struggle, create new ones. Instead of focusing on what is missing, see yourself already having it. Feel it as real. Live in that state mentally, and the world will shift to reflect it. The process is simple but requires persistence. Imagine daily, not in desperation, not in longing, but in confidence. See yourself already in possession of what you desire. Walk as if it is already yours. Do not waver, do not contradict your vision with doubt, and do not allow the external world to dictate your belief. Creation begins in the unseen. The moment you truly understand this, you will stop chasing and start creating. You will no longer be a victim of circumstances, but a master of them. You will recognize that everything begins in the mind, and by controlling your imagination, you control your destiny. This is the secret to all manifestation. The unseen shapes the seen, What you hold in your mind will become your lived experience. Trust in the power within you, for it is nothing less than the voice of God, guiding you toward the life you were meant to live. Faith is the ability to see beyond what your physical senses reveal. It is the inner knowing that what you desire already exists, even when there is no visible proof. It is not wishful thinking, nor is it blind optimism. It is the absolute certainty that the unseen world is just as real, if not more real, than the one you perceive with your eyes. Most people live bound by their senses. They believe only in what they can see, touch, and measure. They wait for external proof before allowing themselves to believe in something greater. But those who understand the true nature of reality know that everything begins in the unseen. The world you experience today is simply a reflection of past thoughts, beliefs, and imaginal acts. If you continue to rely on what is already visible to dictate your beliefs, you will remain trapped in the same cycle, recreating the past over and over again. Is the ability to step beyond this limitation. It is knowing that just because something is not yet visible does not mean it is not real. It means holding firm to your vision, regardless of what your senses tell you. It is the unwavering conviction that what you have imagined, what you have felt to be true, must manifest in due time. The mistake most people make is allowing doubt to creep in. They affirm their desires one moment, then look around and see no change and immediately question whether their belief was justified. They waver between trust and uncertainty, never fully committing to the unseen reality they are creating. But faith does not ask for reassurance. It is the proof. You do not need to see a tree in full bloom to know that the seed planted in the ground will one day become that tree. You do not dig up the soil each day to check if the roots are forming. You trust the process. You water the seed, you nurture it, and you know that in time it will emerge. The same is true for your desires. The moment you plant them in the soil of your imagination, they begin to take root. But if you constantly doubt, if you constantly look for signs and question whether it is working, you uproot the process before it can bear fruit. Faith is a discipline. It is a commitment to seeing beyond the physical world, to living from the reality you desire before it appears. It means walking as if, thinking as if, and feeling as if your desire is already yours. Not in hope, not in desperation, but in absolute certainty. When you truly embody faith, you no longer react to circumstances. You no longer worry about how or when things will unfold. You no longer seek external validation because you know that your inner world creates your outer world, not the other way around. You stand firm in your vision, knowing that reality must conform to the image you hold within. There will be moments when doubt tries to pull you back. There will be times when the world seems unchanged, when nothing appears to be moving in your favor. This is the test of faith. Will you believe in the unseen, or will you surrender to appearances? Those who waver will find themselves stuck, but those who persist, those who refuse to be swayed by temporary circumstances, will see their desires materialize in ways beyond their comprehension. Your belief is the force that shapes your reality. The stronger your faith, the faster your world will align with your vision. The more you trust in the unseen, the more effortlessly the seen will conform. You do not need proof to believe. Belief itself is the proof. Hold fast to your vision, walk with certainty, and know that the world you seek is already yours, waiting for you to claim it. You are the operant power. No one else is responsible for shaping your reality, only you. The divine force that creates worlds moves through you, but it does not act independently of your consciousness. You are not a passive observer in life waiting for something outside of you to change your circumstances. You are the cause. Your assumptions, your beliefs, your inner conversations, and the feelings you choose to dwell in determine the reality you experience. Many people spend their lives waiting for a sign, waiting for external confirmation, waiting for someone else to take action. They pray and hope, but they do not assume. They ask, but they do not receive because they remain in a state of lack. They believe that if their circumstances would just change, then they could feel happy, secure, and abundant. But this is not how reality works. You must first become internally what you wish to experience externally. You must assume the feeling of your answered prayer now, not later. Not when the world gives you proof, not when you see evidence, but now, in this very moment. The moment you assume a state, it begins to express itself in your life. This is the law. God does not work outside of you, He works through you. The creative force of the universe is not separate from you, waiting to intervene on your behalf. You are the vessel through which creation takes place. Your consciousness is the creator, your imagination is the blueprint, and your emotions are the fuel that brings your vision to life. If you continue to dwell in doubt, fear, and lack, you will create more of the same. But if you take control of your inner world and embody the state of already having what you desire, the world will conform to match it. This is why action in faith is necessary. You cannot simply wish for something and then continue to think, feel, and act as if you do not have it. You must move as if it is already done. Walk with the confidence of someone who already possesses what they desire. Speak as if your wish has already been fulfilled. Align your thoughts and emotions with the reality you are creating. The moment you do this, unseen forces begin to rearrange themselves to reflect your new assumption. Most people misunderstand faith. They believe it means hoping that something will happen in the future. But faith is not hope. Faith is certainty. It is knowing that what you desire is already yours, even when your senses show you nothing. It is stepping into the feeling of the wish fulfilled and living from that state. When you assume a new state, your world will test you. It will present you with old patterns, old fears, and old circumstances to see if you truly believe in your new reality. This is where most people give up. They assume for a moment, but when nothing appears to change immediately, they fall back into doubt. They let the external world dictate their faith instead of holding their faith until the external world catches up. This is why you must persist. You must remain unwavering in your assumption, regardless of appearances. The outer world is nothing more than a delayed reflection of your inner state. If you hold firm to your new assumption, if you refuse to waver, the world must shift to match it. Stop waiting, stop hoping, stop looking for proof before you believe. Step into the reality you desire now. Assume the feeling of your answered prayer. Act as if it is already done. Live from the end and you will see that you have always been the operant power. The world does not create for you, it responds to you. And the moment you take full responsibility for your creative power, you will see that nothing is impossible for the one who believes. Everything you seek is already within you. The external world is simply a reflection of your inner state, and the power to shape it lies in your hands. Your desires are not random. They are divine whispers, guiding you toward your highest potential. Where you place your attention determines what manifests in your life, and your imagination is the voice of creation itself. Faith is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. You do not need external proof to believe, for belief itself is the proof. And above all, you are the operant power. Nothing moves unless you assume, feel, and act in alignment with the reality you wish to create. Stop waiting, stop doubting, step into the feeling of your answered prayer now. Live as if it is already done, and watch the world conform to your assumption. The moment you take responsibility for your creative power, you will see that you have never been at the mercy of circumstances. You have always been the cause. Thank you for listening. May you walk forward with faith, knowing that what you seek is already yours. There is a secret known only to those who have dared to test it. A secret that once understood will transform your life. It is not a ritual, nor is it a desperate plea to an external force. It is the art of asking in a way that the universe cannot ignore. Most people ask from a place of need. They beg, they plead, they worry. But let me tell you this. Asking in that manner only affirms to the universe that you do not have. And what does the universe do? It mirrors back your belief in lack. You must understand this. The universe is not something separate from you. It is not a distant force that decides whether you are worthy. It is a living, responsive field, shaped by your assumptions, your beliefs, and most importantly, your feeling. If you wish to be wealthy, you do not ask from a place of poverty. You assume the identity of one who already possesses abundance. If you desire love, you do not cry out in loneliness. You embody the feeling of being deeply cherished. You do not chase what is already yours. You do not question how or when. You enter the state of fulfillment and remain there, unwavering. So tonight, as you lay in bed, do not ask as one who is waiting. Ask as one who knows. Close your eyes and feel the reality of your desire. Let the joy of it consume you. Let the certainty of it settle in your bones. And when you wake, walk as if it is done. This is how you ask the universe. Not with words, but with the silent, unshakable knowing that what you seek is already yours. The moment you desire something, understand that it already exists. It is not a matter of creation, but of recognition, for everything you could ever want is already present in the infinite field of possibility. The only thing separating you from your desire is your own awareness, your ability to assume its reality before your senses confirm it. Most people live in a state of lack, constantly reinforcing the idea that what they desire is out of reach. They say, "I hope one day I will have it," or "I am trying to manifest it." But in doing so, they unknowingly push their desire further away. To try is to admit failure in advance. To hope is to confess uncertainty. And uncertainty is a denial of what is already yours. When you understand that everything exists within you now, your entire approach to life changes. You no longer beg, plead, or chase. You no longer look at your current circumstances as an obstacle. You recognize them for what they are, a reflection of past assumptions, nothing more. And just as the past shaped the present, your present assumption is shaping the future. So how do you claim what is yours? By assuming that it is already done. If wealth is your desire, you must stop identifying with struggle. If love is what you seek, you must cease believing in loneliness. You do not wait for the external world to shift before you feel abundant, loved, or successful. You embody that state now. You walk as if, talk as if, think as if. The universe does not recognize need, it only responds to certainty. If you ask for something as if you do not have it, you are affirming its absence. But if you live in the awareness that it is already yours, the universe rearranges itself to reflect that truth. This is the key to all manifestation. Feeling the fulfillment of your desire before it materializes. There is no force outside of you granting or denying your request. You are the creator. Your world is the outpicturing of your internal state. When you accept this, you stop reacting to circumstances as if they are fixed. Instead, you mold them from within. The moment you shift your assumption, reality must follow. Imagine for a moment that your desire is already realized. How would you feel? How would you think? How would you carry yourself? The truth is, you would no longer question, doubt, or worry. You would no longer look for evidence of its arrival. You would simply be the person who has it. And in that assumption, in that silent knowing, the world must conform. This is not wishful thinking, it is the law. It is the very principle that governs reality. But it requires discipline, for the mind is conditioned to believe only what it sees. It will try to convince you that your circumstances are real, that you must work harder, strive more, or wait longer. Do not listen. Do not entertain doubt. Remain in the state of fulfillment no matter what appears before you. And when the world tries to contradict your assumption, do not waver. The old reality may persist for a time, but it is only the residue of past beliefs. Stay firm in your new assumption. Remind yourself that what you see is temporary, but what you know is eternal. Eventually, the illusion of lack will crumble, and only your chosen reality will remain. So take this moment now and claim what is yours. Stop waiting, stop hoping, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and never stray from it. The moment you do, the universe moves to bring it into form, not because it was not there before, but because now you have finally seen it. The universe does not respond to words, nor does it recognize desperation. It is not moved by empty affirmations or repetitive prayers spoken from a place of longing. It responds only to the depth of your inner state, the silent, unwavering conviction that what you desire is already yours. Most people believe they must ask repeatedly, hoping that through persistence their desires will be granted. But asking in this way only reinforces the belief that they do not have it. When you beg, plead, or affirm from a place of need, you are declaring to the universe that you lack. And as long as you hold on to this feeling of lack, your reality will continue to reflect it. The secret is not in asking, but in feeling. The key is to assume the emotional state you would experience if your desire were already fulfilled. If wealth were yours today, how would you feel? If love had already entered your life, how would you move, speak, and think? This is what the universe recognizes, not your words, but your state of being. It is not enough to simply visualize or imagine. You must step into the feeling, allowing it to permeate every part of you. Your current reality does not matter. The evidence of your senses does not matter. What matters is the internal shift, the unshakable knowing that what you seek is already done. This is the secret to true manifestation. Think of a dream. When you are dreaming, the experience feels real. Your mind accepts the scene before you as truth. You do not question whether it is happening. You are fully immersed in it. And so it is with your desires. When you can immerse yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the external world must conform. This requires a deep level of trust, for the logical mind will resist. It will remind you of what is, of what appears to be lacking. But you must override this tendency and return to the feeling of fulfillment. The more you embody it, the more natural it becomes. Eventually you reach a point where the state of having is so real within you that it no longer matters whether the outside world has caught up, because in your reality, it already has. And that is when the shift happens. That is when the universe moves in ways you cannot predict, bringing into form that which you have already accepted as true. This is why those who succeed seem to do so effortlessly. They do not dwell in the vibration of lack, they live in the certainty of their desires. They do not wait for proof before believing. They believe first, and proof follows. They do not chase, beg, or force. They embody, and the world bends to meet them. Your task is not to control how it happens. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to the feeling of your fulfilled desire. Carry it with you throughout your day. Let it be the foundation upon which your thoughts, actions, and energy are built. When doubts arise, return to the feeling. When reality contradicts, hold firm in your assumption. And when you least expect it, what you have felt so deeply within will materialize before you, not as something new, but as something you have already lived in your mind, something that was always meant to be yours. Because in truth, it always was. You simply had to feel it first. The language of creation is now. Every word you speak, every thought you entertain, and every feeling you dwell in is shaping your reality in this very moment. If you say, "I will have," you are placing your desire in a future that never arrives. If you believe it is coming, you are also affirming that it is not here yet. And as long as you maintain that state of mind, your desire will remain just out of reach, always something to be attained but never fully yours. Most people do not realize the power of their words. They believe that by affirming, "One day I will be successful," or "Soon I will have what I want," they are bringing their desires closer, but in truth, they are unknowingly pushing them away. The universe does not recognize time the way the human mind does. It responds to your state of being, to what you accept as real right now. If you keep your desire in the future, the universe will reflect that, keeping it always in the realm of someday rather than now. To manifest, you must shift your language, but more importantly, you must shift your consciousness. Speak as though it is already done, not with forced affirmations that contradict your inner state, but with the certainty that what you seek is already yours. Say, I am, not I will be. Say, it is done, not it is coming. Live in the now, not in anticipation. This shift in language is not about mere words. It is about embodying a new awareness. When you say, I am wealthy, you must feel the reality of wealth in your body. When you declare, I am loved, you must rest in the peace of that love, as if it surrounds you already. Your words are an expression of your assumption. An assumption is the force that manifests reality. Think of a person who naturally attracts success. They do not say, I hope one day I will achieve my goals. They walk, talk, and think from a place of already having. They do not wait for external proof before feeling successful. They feel it first, and reality follows. This is not arrogance, it is faith in the unseen. It is an unwavering conviction that the external world must bend to match the internal state. Doubt is what keeps most people stuck. They say, I believe it will happen, but beneath their words, they feel uncertainty, and so the universe mirrors that uncertainty back to them. If you waver, so will your results. But when you declare with certainty, when you remove time from the equation and live in the reality of your fulfilled desire, the world must shift accordingly. This is why persistence in assumption is necessary. The senses will try to deceive you, showing you a world that contradicts your new belief. But you must not react to appearances. Instead, you must continue to assume and speak from the reality you wish to experience. If the external world has not yet caught up, it does not matter. Your job is not to wait, your job is to be. You must begin now. Stop waiting for the right circumstances, the perfect moment or visible signs. The moment you claim your desire in the present, without hesitation or doubt, you set the wheels of creation in motion. You do not need to know how it will unfold. You only need to know that it is done. So speak now, think now, feel now. Be the person who already has what they desire, and the universe will have no choice but to confirm it. Not in the distant future, but here, now, in the only moment that ever truly exists. The greatest barrier to manifestation is the mind's obsession with control. The human tendency is to ask, how will it happen? When will it happen? What must I do to make it happen? And in that questioning, doubt begins to creep in. You see, the universe does not require your assistance in arranging the details. Your only task is to know, truly know, that what you seek is already yours. The moment you try to force, chase, or manipulate the process, you signal to the universe that you do not trust it. And in doing so, you create resistance to the very thing you desire. Most people live in a state of worry, constantly trying to figure out the mechanics of their manifestation. They analyze, plan, and struggle, believing that their efforts will somehow speed up the process. But this is a trap. The more you obsess over how something will come to be, the more you affirm that it is not yet here. And as long as you hold on to that belief, you push it further away. Understand this: everything you desire is already in motion. The universe is infinite in intelligence, orchestrating events in ways you cannot comprehend. Your only responsibility is to hold the feeling of your fulfilled desire, to remain in the conviction that it is done. That alone is enough. The path will unfold on its own, often in ways that are unexpected, effortless, and beyond anything you could have planned. Think of a seed planted in the soil. Once buried, it does not need to be dug up and inspected daily. You do not need to interfere with its growth, nor do you need to dictate the exact way in which it should sprout. You simply trust that, in time, It will break through the ground and bloom into what it was always meant to be. Your desires work in the same way. Once you have planted them in your consciousness, they will take root and manifest, if only you allow them to. Detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop wanting what you desire. It means you release the need to control every step. It means you trust that the universe knows exactly how to bring it to you. Those who manifest effortlessly are not those who struggle the hardest. They are the ones who have mastered the art of letting go. They hold their desires with confidence but do not cling to them with desperation. They walk with an inner knowing that what they have imagined is already making its way to them. Look around you. Notice how things have fallen into place in your life before, often without your interference. The right people, opportunities, and circumstances have appeared when you least expected them. The same force that brought those events into alignment is the same force that is working now. Your doubt and impatience do not speed it up. They only create unnecessary delays. So let go. Stop trying to control what is already being taken care of. When you feel the urge to force something into place, remind yourself that it is not your job to manage the how. Your job is to embody the feeling of already having it. Live as if your desire is already fulfilled, and trust that the universe is bringing it into form in the most effortless way possible. And when the moment is right, when all has aligned perfectly, it will appear. Not as a distant dream, but as a natural unfolding of what was always meant to be. You will look back and realize that there was never any need to worry, never any need to force. It was yours all along. You simply had to trust. Doubt is the greatest thief of manifestation. It creeps in silently, disguised as logic, as realism, as caution. It whispers, "What if it doesn't happen?" And suddenly your conviction wavers. The universe does not respond to hesitation, it responds to certainty. If you do not believe in the absolute reality of your desire, you are like a king who has forgotten his throne, a commander who has lost his voice. You cannot receive that which you question. Your belief must be unwavering, your conviction absolute. When you speak to the universe, do so with authority, not as one who hopes, but as one who knows. The weak beg, the unsure plead, but the one who understands their power declares, "It is done." There is no room for second guessing in creation. The moment you entertain doubt, you send mixed signals, and the universe, being the perfect mirror that it is, reflects that uncertainty back to you. Imagine you are placing an order at a restaurant. You do not ask timidly, nor do you question whether the meal will arrive. You state your choice clearly, and then you wait with full expectation. You do not run to the kitchen to ensure they are preparing it correctly. You do not reorder out of fear they did not hear you the first time. You trust, and in time your meal arrives. This is how you must speak your desires into existence. When you declare something, let your words be final. If you say, "I am successful," then let it be so. Do not undo your declaration with contradictory thoughts. Do not dilute your power with statements of uncertainty. If you have asked, then it is already in motion. Your only task is to maintain the belief that it is yours. The world around you may try to challenge this belief. Circumstances may arise that seem to contradict your assumption. But you must not waver. A true creator does not rely on physical evidence to confirm their power. They trust in the unseen. They know that just because something is not yet visible does not mean it is not real. The moment you allow external conditions to dictate your belief, you have given your power away. Consider the way the most successful, influential people carry themselves. They do not beg for opportunities, they expect them. They do not speak as if they are unsure. They command with certainty. It is not arrogance, it is knowing. They walk into a room and the energy shifts because they have already decided who they are. They do not need validation from the world. The world simply conforms to their assumption. You must embody this same confidence when addressing the universe. If you desire wealth, do not say, "I hope to be wealthy one day." Say, I am wealthy. Feel it as truth regardless of what your bank account says. If you desire love, do not say, I wish to be loved. Say, I am loved. Speak from the state of already having, not from a place of lack. This does not mean repeating empty affirmations while harboring doubt inside. It means embodying the feeling of certainty. It means speaking as though the outcome is inevitable, as though there is no alternative. When you reach this level of conviction, the universe must comply. It has no choice, for it is bound to reflect the reality you persist in. So silence the doubt. When the voice of uncertainty arises, do not entertain it. Replace it immediately with authority. Every time you declare your reality, do so as one who commands, not as one who pleads. The power has always been in your hands. The moment you claim it without hesitation is the moment the universe moves to fulfill it. The world you see before you is nothing more than a mirror reflecting your inner state. Every circumstance, every experience, and every person you encounter is a projection of the beliefs you hold within. The great mistake most people make is believing that the external world dictates their inner world, when in truth, it is the other way around. Therefore, when you desire something, you must persist in the feeling of already having it, even when the world around you appears unchanged. This is where most people falter. They look for immediate confirmation in their physical reality. They check their bank accounts for wealth, their phones for messages, their surroundings for proof that their desires are materializing. And when they see nothing, doubt creeps in. They begin to question, is this really working? Have I been wasting my time? And in that very moment of doubt, they undo their work. They return to their old assumptions. And the universe, being a perfect reflection, returns them to the same reality they were trying to escape. True mastery lies in persisting in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, regardless of what the outer world is showing you. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust the process. You water it, give it sunlight, and know with certainty that beneath the surface something is happening, even if you cannot yet see it. The same principle applies to your desires. Once you have assumed them to be real, once you have felt their truth within you, you must hold on to that assumption unwaveringly. This is not about wishful thinking or pretending, it is about knowing. When you decide something is yours, it must be yours. When you persist in the feeling of already having what you desire, you shift into a state of alignment with it. The world has no choice but to reorganize itself to match that state. But this reorganization takes time. There is always a bridge of events, a series of unseen movements working behind the scenes to bring your desire into physical form. Your only job is to remain steadfast, to hold on to the feeling, to trust completely. The greatest test comes when reality contradicts your assumption. Perhaps you desire love, yet you feel lonely. Perhaps you seek financial freedom, yet you struggle to pay your bills. This is where most people give up. But understand, what you are experiencing now is simply the reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It is not evidence of what is to come unless you choose to make it so. If you react to the present moment with frustration, doubt, or disbelief, you reinforce the very reality you wish to change. But if you persist, if you refuse to be moved by appearances, and instead hold to the truth you have assumed within, you will shift your world entirely. Many of the most successful, influential people you admire did not wait for reality to confirm their success. They felt it first. They believed in their vision before anyone else could see it. They persisted even when faced with rejection, failure, or ridicule. And because they refused to waver, their external world eventually conformed to their internal conviction. This is the law in action. So remain firm in your assumption. Walk each day as if what you desire is already yours. Speak as if it is done. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the certainty. And when the world tests you, when it shows you the opposite of what you seek, smile, because you know the truth. You know that what you hold within must manifest without. Your persistence is the key, and as long as you remain unshaken, the world will bend to your will. Everything you desire is already within you. The universe is not withholding anything from you, it is simply responding to the state you persist in. When you assume it is already yours, when you feel the reality of your wish fulfilled, when you speak in the present, detach from the how, silence doubt, and remain steadfast even when external conditions seem unchanged, you align yourself with the very thing you seek. The key is unwavering belief. Do not beg, do not chase, do not question. Declare it, feel it, know it. Reality is but a reflection of the inner world, and when you master your internal state, the external must follow. The moment you persist, with absolute conviction, without doubt, without hesitation, the universe moves to meet you. So trust. Be still in the knowing that it is done. You are the creator, and the power has always been within you. Thank you. Close your eyes for a moment. Listen closely, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. For what I am about to tell you has the power to transform your life forever. 3 words. That is all it takes to shift your reality, to move mountains unseen, to bend the very fabric of your world to your will. But these words are not to be spoken with hesitation, nor with mere hope. They must be declared with unwavering certainty, with a heart that already knows it is done. When you speak from conviction, the universe bends to your will. The words you utter are not empty sounds. They are vibrations, commands sent forth into the infinite, shaping the formless into form. This is the great secret. Whatever you declare with full belief becomes the law upon which your world is built. These 3 words hold immeasurable power. They are not a request nor a plea. They are a finality, a seal upon your desire. When you say it is done, you do not look for signs. You do not question when or how. You simply know. And in that knowing, the unseen forces begin their work. Think of the greatest manifestations in your life, those moments when things appeared effortlessly, when what you once longed for simply showed up. Look back, and you will see a pattern. In the moment you let go, in the moment you knew it was already yours, it came. This is the secret of creation. You do not chase, you do not beg. You declare, you assume. You step into the feeling of already having it. And then, as surely as the sun rises, it must appear. Doubt is the only enemy. The moment you say it is done and then wonder, but when, but how, you undo the very power you set in motion. But if you stand firm, if you walk as though the unseen is more real than the seen, then the world has no choice but to yield to your assumption. So, tonight, before you sleep, close your eyes and declare with absolute certainty, it is done. Feel the reality of your desire as though it has already come to pass. And when you wake, carry yourself as the one who already has it. There is a truth so profound, so absolute, that it has been whispered throughout the ages by sages, mystics, and those who have unlocked the secrets of reality. It is the understanding that words are not merely sounds. They are forces that shape existence itself. The words you speak, whether aloud or in the silence of your mind, are the very substance from which your reality is formed. Every word carries a vibration, an energy that extends beyond the physical realm. To speak is to create, for your words are the bridge between the unseen and the seen. They are not idle expressions, they are commands sent forth into the vast, infinite field of possibility, where all things exist in potential, waiting to take form. Consider for a moment the nature of your own experiences. Look around at the circumstances of your life, at the relationships you have built, the success you have attained, or the struggles you continue to endure. If you were to trace these experiences back to their origins, you would find that they are directly tied to the words you have consistently spoken, whether in thought or aloud. The person who declares, "Nothing ever works out for me," will find themselves trapped in an endless cycle of disappointments. The one who believes, "I am always struggling," will encounter obstacles at every turn. These words, spoken with conviction, act as an instruction to the unseen forces that govern reality, ensuring that what is declared must come to pass. But just as words can limit, they also have the power to liberate. The one who affirms, "I am worthy of love and abundance," will begin to see life reorganize itself to reflect this new belief. The one who says, "Everything I desire flows to me effortlessly," will notice doors opening in ways they never imagined. This is not a matter of wishful thinking or empty affirmations. Words alone are not enough unless they are spoken with belief, with a deep knowing that they are shaping what is to come. A mere repetition of phrases will not shift reality unless those words are felt as truth. It is the emotion, the unwavering certainty behind them that gives them life. To truly harness this power, one must become deliberate in speech, both internal and external. The casual complaints, the habitual self-doubt, the unconscious repetition of limitations, all of these must be replaced with declarations of possibility, of certainty, of already having received that which is desired. Imagine a sculptor standing before a block of marble. Every strike of the chisel, every precise movement, shapes the vision they hold in their mind. In the same way, your words carve out the reality you experience. Each sentence, each thought, each expression is another stroke that molds your world into form. There is no neutrality in speech. Every word either moves you closer to your desired life or further away from it. To speak negatively is to reinforce the very conditions you wish to escape. But to speak in alignment with the reality you desire is to call it forth, to summon it from the unseen into the tangible. This is why it is said, "Let the weak say, I am strong," not because they are denying their current condition, but because by declaring strength, they set into motion the forces that will make it so. They do not wait for external evidence to change before they speak the truth of what they desire. They speak it first, knowing that the world will rearrange itself to match their declaration. What will you choose to speak into existence? Will you continue to affirm limitations, or will you begin to declare the reality you truly wish to experience? The choice is always yours. But know this, every word you utter is a seed planted, and every seed must bear fruit. Choose your words with the same care you would choose the foundation of a great structure, for upon them your entire reality is built. The world you see before you is not separate from you. It is not something happening to you, nor is it an external force beyond your control. It is in every sense a reflection of your own consciousness. What you hold within, the thoughts you dwell upon, the beliefs you accept as true, shapes the very reality you experience. The unseen patterns of your mind give birth to the visible world around you. Consciousness is the foundation of all creation. Everything that exists first began as an idea, a thought, an unseen impression upon the mind. Before a great structure is built, it is conceived in the mind of the architect. Before an invention is brought into existence, it is imagined by the creator. Before success, love, or abundance manifests in a person's life, it is first accepted in their inner world as real. There is no escaping this truth. Whether one is aware of it or not, they are constantly creating. The repetition of thought, the emotions tied to those thoughts, and the deep beliefs formed over time act as the blueprint for one's reality. That which is impressed upon the subconscious mind with feeling and certainty will inevitably externalize itself in the world of form. Look at your own life and consider this principle in action. The circumstances you face, the events that unfold, the relationships you attract, each of these is the outpicturing of the state of consciousness you have persistently occupied. A person who habitually dwells on lack and struggle will find that life mirrors these beliefs, bringing forth experiences that affirm their inner assumptions. Conversely, one who consistently impresses upon their mind the feeling of abundance, success, and fulfillment will see these conditions materialize in ways that seem effortless. This is not coincidence, nor is it random, it is law. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking or fleeting desires. It responds to the deep convictions you hold as truth. If you wish to change your life, you must begin by changing what you impress upon your consciousness. Repetition is the key. A single thought held briefly may pass without effect, but a thought repeated with feeling day after day embeds itself into the subconscious. And once something is impressed upon the subconscious mind, it moves into action, influencing behavior, perception, and ultimately experience. This is why those who assume failure find themselves failing, while those who assume success seem to attract opportunities with ease. To harness this power, one must become the master of their inner world. It is not enough to wish for a better life. One must assume the state of already having it. This means thinking, speaking, and feeling as though the desired reality is already true, not in the future, not someday, but now. The subconscious does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what is consistently fed to it. If you desire abundance, dwell upon abundance. If you seek love, impress upon your mind the feeling of being deeply loved. If you wish for success, assume the identity of one who is already successful. Let your inner dialogue reflect this truth. Let your emotions align with it, and let your actions follow naturally from this assumption. Doubt and fear are the only barriers to manifestation. The moment you waver, questioning whether your thoughts truly have power, you disrupt the process. But when you remain firm, unwavering in your conviction, the external world must conform. It has no choice, for reality is only the echo of the state of mind you consistently occupy. Everything begins within. Change your consciousness and you will change your world. It is not a question of if, it is a certainty. What you impress upon your mind through repetition and deep belief must externalize itself. This is the nature of reality, and it is the key to transformation. There is a power within you so vast, so absolute, that when properly understood and applied, it can transform your entire life. This power is the law of assumption. It is not wishful thinking, nor is it mere positive affirmations. It is the unshakable knowing that what you assume to be true will harden into fact. Reality does not unfold based on chance, effort, or external circumstances. It conforms to your assumptions, your deep, unquestioned beliefs about yourself and the world. To assume is to take something as real, to accept it without question. And when you assume something with conviction, without doubt, and with full emotional acceptance, it must become your experience. The world around you is simply a mirror reflecting your internal state. Every event, every encounter, and every circumstance is a response to the assumptions you hold. Look at your own life and you will see this truth in action. The person who believes they are always overlooked will find themselves ignored in conversations, passed over for opportunities, and forgotten by those they seek attention from. Not because the world is cruel, but because they have assumed invisibility. They have taken on the identity of someone who is ignored, and the world must reflect it back to them. On the other hand, the one who assumes they are loved, successful, and deserving of abundance walks through life with an air of confidence, and the world bends to match this inner state. They do not chase opportunities. Opportunities seek them. They do not struggle to be noticed. Their presence is naturally acknowledged, not because they are lucky, but because they have assumed the state of already having what they desire. Most people live as though they are at the mercy of circumstances, reacting to life as it unfolds. They assume lack, struggle, and limitation without realizing they are the cause of their own conditions. But the truth is, you are never experiencing reality itself. You are experiencing your assumptions about reality. If you wish to change your life, you must first change your assumptions. This requires living from the end, occupying the state of the wish fulfilled. It means seeing yourself as already possessing the very thing you desire, not hoping for it, not waiting for it, but knowing it is yours. You must assume the feeling of already having it, allowing that feeling to dominate your consciousness. If you desire wealth, assume the consciousness of wealth. See yourself as already abundant, already living the life of financial freedom. Feel the ease and security that come with it. If you desire love, assume that you are already loved, that you are cherished, valued, and deeply appreciated. Feel it as real, and the world will have no choice but to mirror this assumption back to you. Doubt is the only thing that can delay or disrupt this process. The moment you allow fear, hesitation, or conflicting beliefs to take hold, you begin to shift back into your previous state. And so, persistence is key. Do not waver. Do not look to external circumstances for validation. The world is only an echo of what you have already assumed to be true. Change the cause, your inner world, and the effect, your external world, must follow. You do not need to force or manipulate reality. You do not need to struggle or beg for what you desire. The only work required is the inner work of assuming the feeling of already having it. When you fully accept this, the bridge of incidents will unfold naturally. The right people, the right circumstances, and the right opportunities will appear effortlessly because reality is bound by law. It must reflect your assumption. Dare to assume greatness. Dare to assume abundance, love, success, and joy. Walk in the knowing that it is already yours, and reality will bow to your assumption. This is not theory, it is law. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, and you will see the evidence of it manifest before your very eyes. Words alone carry no power unless they are felt. It is not enough to merely declare what you desire. You must embody it, feel it as real, and live from that feeling now. Emotion is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. What you feel deeply with conviction is what impresses upon your subconscious mind and shapes the reality you experience. The world you see is not separate from you. It is a reflection of the state you dwell in. Every person, every event, every opportunity that enters your life is a response to the emotions and beliefs you consistently hold. If you wish to transform your life, you must learn to feel the fulfillment of your desires now, before any physical evidence appears. The outer world does not create your inner state. Rather, your inner state molds and shapes the outer world. When you are overcome with joy, the world appears brighter. Even mundane tasks seem effortless, and people respond to you with warmth and positivity. But when you are filled with fear or doubt, the world appears hostile. Every situation feels like a struggle, and even small inconveniences seem overwhelming. The difference is not in the world itself, but in the emotional state you carry within. If emotions have the power to shape your moment-to-moment experience, imagine their effect when sustained over time. The person who constantly feels unworthy will find life reflecting that belief back to them. They will attract circumstances that confirm their feelings of lack, reinforcing their assumption that they are not good enough. But the one who feels deserving, who lives in the state of already having what they desire, will move through life with confidence, and the world must conform to that inner certainty. To manifest anything, you must first accept it emotionally. This is the true key. You do not wait for external proof to feel successful. You assume the feeling of success now. You do not wait for love to come before feeling loved. You generate the feeling of being cherished in the present moment. When you persist in these feelings, reality has no choice but to bring you experiences that match. Many fail because they attempt to affirm new beliefs while still feeling the lack of them. They say the words but do not allow themselves to feel the truth behind them. They affirm wealth but feel poor. They speak of love but feel lonely, and so their reality does not change because the subconscious does not respond to empty words. It responds to feelings. This is why imagination is such a powerful tool. If you can close your eyes and fully immerse yourself in the experience of having your desire, feeling it as if it were real, your subconscious mind will accept it as truth. The more real it feels, the more quickly it must externalize. When you practice this consistently, the world will shift to reflect your new state. This may feel unnatural, but with repetition, it becomes effortless. Just as a musician must practice until their instrument becomes an extension of them, you must practice dwelling in the feeling of your wish fulfilled until it becomes your natural state. Every time doubt arises, return to the feeling. Every time fear creeps in, remind yourself that what you feel deeply must manifest. You are never waiting for your desire, it is waiting for you to claim it. You do not need to chase or struggle. You simply need to embody the feeling of already having it. The moment you feel it real, without contradiction, the unseen forces of reality move to bring it into form. Feel the fulfillment now. Let the joy, the peace, and the certainty of your desired reality flood your being. When you do this, manifestation is not a question of if, it is a certainty. What you feel deeply and persistently is what you will inevitably experience in your world. The greatest illusion of this world is the belief that what is seen is more real than what is unseen. Yet everything you experience with your physical senses is merely the effect, not the cause. The true reality lies within you, in the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you cultivate, and the assumptions you hold. The unseen world, your imagination, your beliefs, your inner dialogue, is the source from which all physical manifestations arise. Look around at everything in your life right now. Your relationships, your finances, your circumstances. These are not random occurrences. They are reflections of your inner world, the outpicturing of the thoughts and assumptions you have consistently held, whether consciously or unconsciously. If you wish to change anything in your life, you must first change the unseen, the state of mind you dwell in day after day. Many believe they must fight against circumstances, work harder, or struggle to shift their reality, but effort alone, without an inner shift, is futile. You may push and force things to happen, but if your internal state contradicts your desires, your external world will always return to reflect your dominant beliefs. This is why people who strive for success while harboring deep feelings of unworthiness often find themselves self-sabotaging. They may achieve temporary victories, but their inner state eventually pulls them back to the level of their true belief. On the other hand, those who confidently assume success, even before any external validation, find opportunities flowing to them effortlessly. Their reality shifts not because of luck or external effort, but because they have first changed within. They have rewritten the unseen script of their lives, and the world merely follows suit. Your inner dialogue is the most powerful force shaping your reality. Every moment you are talking to yourself in your mind, consciously or unconsciously. What are you saying? Are you reinforcing old patterns of limitation, doubt, and fear? Or are you speaking as the person who already has what they desire? If you constantly tell yourself, "Things never work out for me," "I am always struggling," or "I will never find love," your subconscious mind accepts these statements as truth, and the world arranges itself accordingly. But when you change your inner dialogue, when you replace old limiting beliefs with new empowering ones, the external world has no choice but to shift in response. Begin telling yourself a new story. Instead of saying, "I am always struggling," say, "I am always provided for." Instead of "I am unworthy of love," affirm, "I am deeply loved and cherished." At first it may feel unnatural, but repetition is key. The subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It simply accepts what you impress upon it through persistent thought and feeling. This is the power of the unseen. What you dwell on internally must become your experience externally. You do not need to manipulate circumstances or force things to happen. The moment you shift your internal state, your thoughts, your assumptions, and your emotions, you set in motion the forces that will reshape your world. Think of a seed planted in the ground. You do not see its roots forming beneath the soil, but in time it sprouts into something visible. The same is true for your thoughts and assumptions. The moment you change your inner state, the seed is planted. Even if nothing appears to change externally at first, trust that the unseen forces are at work. Persist in your new inner dialogue, and in time the outer world will catch up. What is unseen is more real than what is seen, because the unseen is the cause, while the seen is merely the effect. Reality is not something happening to you, it is something happening through you. The world is your mirror, reflecting back the state you consistently occupy. Change the cause, and the effect must follow. Shift your internal world, and your external world will shift in response. Speak your desire with conviction. Declare it as if it were already yours, as if it were an undeniable fact. Words are not just sounds, they are vibrations, carrying the power to shape the unseen forces of reality. Every word you speak is an affirmation, a decree that calls forth circumstances to align with your inner world. But speaking alone is not enough. You must believe, you must accept, without question, that what you have declared is already in motion, already unfolding, already yours. Doubt is the great destroyer of manifestation. It is not enough to merely state your desire if in the next breath you question whether it will come to pass. The moment you allow doubt to creep in, you cancel out the power of your words. It is like planting a seed in the soil and then digging it up every day to check if it is growing. No seed can take root under such conditions. The same is true for your desires. Once spoken, once declared, they must be left undisturbed, nurtured only by faith, not by fear or impatience. Belief is the bridge between the unseen and the seen. It is the unwavering knowing that what you have asked for is already on its way, even if there is no physical evidence yet. When you truly believe, you do not beg, you do not plead, and you do not chase. You simply expect. You walk through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that everything is being arranged perfectly in your favor. The how and the when are not your concern. Your only task is to remain in a state of fulfillment, to hold on to the feeling that what you desire is already yours. And then you must let go. This is where most people struggle. They speak their desires, they believe for a moment, but then they obsess over when it will happen, how it will come, and whether they are doing enough. This anxious energy only pushes the manifestation further away. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means surrendering control over the process and trusting that the unseen forces are working in ways beyond your comprehension. Imagine placing an order at a restaurant. Once you tell the waiter what you want, you do not follow him into the kitchen to ensure the chef prepares it correctly. You do not question whether the food will arrive. You simply trust that in time it will be served to you. The same principle applies to manifestation. Once you have spoken and believed, your only responsibility is to carry on with your life in the certainty that what you have ordered from the universe is already being prepared. Letting go is an act of supreme faith. It is the ability to release attachment to the outcome and instead rest in the knowing that all is unfolding as it should. The moment you release control, you make space for miracles. You remove resistance and allow things to come together in ways that your mind could never have orchestrated. The unseen forces do not operate on human logic. They work in divine precision, arranging circumstances and connections beyond what you can perceive. Those who master this process, speak, believe, and let go, find that manifestations unfold effortlessly. They do not struggle or force, they align. They live in expectation, not desperation. They move through life with a calm assurance, knowing that everything they desire is already on its way. Your words have power, your belief activates them, and your ability to let go allows them to manifest. Speak your desire with clarity, believe in it with unwavering certainty, and then release it, trusting that all things are moving in perfect harmony. When you live by this principle, you will see the unseen forces work in your favor, bringing your dreams into reality in ways more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. Everything you desire is already within your reach. The unseen forces are always working in your favor, shaping your reality according to your inner world. Your words hold power, speak with conviction. Your consciousness creates, believe without doubt. The law of assumption is unbreakable. Live from the end, feel the fulfillment now. Emotion is the bridge to manifestation. The unseen is more real than the seen. Your external world is only a reflection. And finally, speak, believe, and let go. Trust that it is done. When you align your thoughts, words, and emotions with the reality you wish to experience, nothing can stand in the way of its manifestation. Stop looking for proof in the physical world before you believe. Create the belief first, and the proof will follow. You do not need to struggle, chase, or force anything. Shift within, and the world must shift to match you. All that remains is for you to trust. Live in the knowing that what you desire is already yours. Walk with confidence, act as if, and remain unwavering in your faith. Reality is not happening to you. It is responding to you. You are the creator, the cause, the power behind it all. Thank you.